Okay, supposedly we are live right now. Again, I want to apologize for the inconvenience. I terminated the broadcast by mistake because my internet faltered. So I need to skim through what I said already. So we'll go quickly over it. Let's see. Let me see if there's anyone here. I have 0 viewers, but we'll continue on. Okay, so as I said, we do summer workshops. We are part of the UPRH Creative Writing Workshop, a student association that welcomes students of the campus that prefer English to write their stories or poems or creative text. And we do summer workshops. And this summer, we are going to be talking about June is my month, and I'm going to be talking about science fiction. Then another peer mentor, Isander Berrios, he's going to be talking about fantasy. So for Cyber June, which is the name of the month, I will introduce you today to science fiction. Let's see if everything is in order. Everything is in order. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna, let's cross our fingers. Yes, let's cross our fingers. So quickly, we already talked about this. Now, science fiction definitions: the literature of the human species encountering change, whether it arises via scientific discoveries, technological innovations, natural events, or societal shifts. It is also the literature of ideas and philosophy answering such questions as what if or if this goes on. Again, I repeat myself. What if is the scaffold of a science fiction story. The other one, the literature of the other, providing alternate points of view on familiar topics in order to give us a clearer perspective. God, now I have that thing that it's gonna fall. It's gonna just shut down some in any moment. Okay, so we have those definitions. The historical background. It is difficult to pinpoint where science fiction began, but in the 2nd century, Lucian of Samosata wrote a satire called True History, in which there is a depiction of a trip to the moon, which in that time is very out of this world. The other one is the Tales of Utopias and Great Voyages of Discovery, written from the Renaissance through the 18th century. Let me check if I'm still live. I am still live. Okay. Right? Am I live? Okay. These tales of utopias and great discoveries were the inspiration for example, Jules Verne in the 19th century, which he wrote the Voyages Extraordinaires, 20,000 leagues under the sea, around the world in 80 days. All of those fantastic voyages that, in some point, or it use science to support the plot. There's also the techno-scientific cataclysms of the Industrial Revolution. Oh my God, I don't know. Hello? Nope. Impossible. Wait. Okay. I'll just keep going, because if this thing says I'm live, I'm gonna continue being alive. Okay. So, where was I? The techno-scientific cataclysms of the Industrial Revolution that inspired Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which, although it is horror, it has science fiction elements such as the creation of a human being. Darwin's theory of evolution. I'm checking on the YouTube page. Excuse me. And since I don't see Lily around here, maybe she took over. Did you take over, Lily? You take over my mind. Science fiction. Okay. Anyway, Darwin's theory of evolution is also a great inspiration for science fiction writers of the time. And among those writers, we have H.G. Wells and his scientific romances. He's the author of Time Machine, The War of the Worlds. Hello. Okay, I'm live, but it says that I have 0 viewers. What the what? You? This is horrible. This is. I need to find better internet. Science fiction. Okay. Then the other one is the pulp magazines of the 1920s, which had incredible stories that most of them depicted science fiction as well. And that is what some of the historical backgrounds of science fiction. Wow, you cannot see. Let me just. Oh. Somebody? Somebody? Hello? Am I still being watched? Let me check. Okay. Uh-huh. Please stand by. What? ¿Cómo que please stand by? I've been talking my head here and then nobody has been listening to me? Oh, God. Okay. Yes. Oh, God. You probably heard all that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry. I'm having a life crisis. Okay. So let me just pause this and continue on. So the 1920s, pulp magazines. Now that we have that science fiction historical background, I want to talk to you about what the Wesleyan anthology defines as the science fiction mega text. That mega text. It is not a mega evolution. It is a mega text. Ah, damn it. Yes, you did. You heard all that. Oh, God. Okay. Just okay. I'm live. I'm okay. We're like diamonds in the sky. Okay. So the science fiction megatext. The megatext is defined, and I quote, a fictive universe that includes all of the science fiction stories that have ever been told. It is also a place of shared images, situations, plots, characters, settings, and themes generated across a multiplicity of media, including centuries of diverse literary fictions and, to our times, video and computer games, graphic novels, big budget films, and even advertising. This is so weird. My computer does not respond to put it in pause. Why do you not put it in pause? Okay. So the science fiction megatext, it is basically the universe in which all the science fiction stories and other media belong to. So it is an assumption that all the stories belong in that same universe, and that the writers of science fiction conduct long distance conversations across generations, cultures, social settings, and historical challenges. So basically what this means is that the science fiction topic will repeat along history as we move on, because we we are a oh god, I think we can go here. We are a society of change, but we still have the same topics, the same ideas that the writers have. Okay, so that we as writers, we can also belong to the science fiction megatext, and it is no wonder that we have stories right now that repeat themselves, like dystopias, alien encounters, time travel, space travel. So it's exquisite that these stories all belong in the same universe, but the author or and the reader or the viewer give them a different experience, which is why the science fiction megatext, it is so important for us, the readers. So now let us continue with the characteristics of science fiction. These are the most common characteristics of science fiction, and these are based on scientific principles and technology. It also has an impact of science. There is the impact of science in humanity, which is change. Important, very important. Change and what if. With those two elements, you have a proper science fiction story or poem or whatever you want. Okay? And the speculation of what if is the starting point. It may be set in a different or alternate universe. And I want to make a clarification here. It does not mean that science fiction has to happen in another world, another planet. It can happen in this world in a different time, which makes it time travel in a way. But we'll talk about the subgenres momentarily. And or not. There is the evidence of advanced technology in some, of course. There's a predictions of life in the future, and there's always a comment on social issues of society, of course. Now, the subgenres of science fiction. We have two big main subgenres. We have hard science fiction, or also known as hardcore science fiction, which basically grounds its plot, its characters, its setting in scientific accuracy or technical details. Basically, it's a story that needs of the scientific detail and theories and all that to support what is going on and how is it going to develop. But then we have soft science fiction or soft core science fiction, which usually uses scientific elements as a backdrop of the story rather than the central topic of the work. And some characteristics of softcore science fiction is that it explores soft sciences. Here's the thing. There are hard sciences and soft sciences. The hard sciences are those that require more of a methodology, methods and more investigation in a way. This is criticized, of course. And in the hard sciences, we have biology, engineering, whereas in the soft science, these are the social sciences, anthropology, sociology, political science, and others. It is not another characteristic of softcore science fiction is that it is not scientifically accurate. Okay, We'll continue anyway. So, softcore science fiction does not have to be scientifically accurate, and mostly concerns with characters and speculative, yeah, societies. Okay, and then there are the other science fiction subgenres. In my case, before I continue with the other subgenres, I have read more softcore science fiction instead of hardcore science fiction. But in the popular culture in the film media, hardcore science fiction or science fiction movies can be Interstellar, Her, Gravity. They rely on the scientific detail to move the plot around. You can see. And in the softcore science fiction, the Star Wars franchise, and it is an example of softcore because it is does not need to be scientifically accurate because it focuses on the anthropological and the yay worked okay focuses on the more of the human aspect. Okay, but we have other science fiction subgenres. Please take note because when on the last Wednesday, which is Wednesday 24th, June 24th, I want some of you to dwell in these subgenres. So first of all, we have the apocalyptic Holocaust and post-apocalyptic science fiction, which are the stories that focus on the end of the world or the world just after the end. This is also known as Dying Earth, the Dying Earth genre. In the case of the movie, for example, Interstellar, we have a mix because it's a dying Earth, it's apocalyptic, the world is ending, and they go space traveling to find a new place, a new home. Cross genre. These are stories that defy easy distinctions between science fiction and other genres such as fantasy. Okay, these are genres that mix. Okay, cyberpunk, which I believe is one of my interest. It's very interesting. It is set in a high-tech, often bleak, mechanistic, and futuristic universe of computers, hackers, and computer-human hybrids. Humans may have built-in computer jacks or software and spend considerable time living in a virtual environment. Classic example, The Matrix is a cyberpunk science fiction film. First Contact. It explores the initial meeting between humans and aliens, E.T., Phone Home, or something like that, ranging from horrific tales of invasions, The War of the Worlds by A.G. Wells, or benign visitors bearing the secrets of advanced technologies and world peace. That's First Contact. I'm sorry, I have allergies. Okay, military science fiction. It looks at combat in future locations such as space and another planet against a range of opponents which may be modified humans, aliens, machines with futuristic high-tech weaponry. The movie Predator may be an example of military science fiction or aliens. Now, near future science fiction. It takes place in the present day or in the next few decades. There are elements of the setting should be familiar to the reader, and the technology may be current or in development. Another example, the movie Her, which is basically a near future because it's on the present day, and there's this technology of oh my god, what was the Samantha was a operating system, yeah, a female operating system. So this is a technology in development. The other subgenre, science fantasy or future fantasy. It is rare now, but it was popular in the 1930s and 40s, and it basically alters, breaks, or ignores known laws or scientific theories for the sake of the story. So basically, this is science fantasy. It is basically going your way with all the laws. It's like, I don't care if you can, I don't want to fly. Law says, scientific law says that a human cannot fly. Well, whatever, I'm gonna fly because science fantasy permits me. Okay, you know. Ooh, I got my science fiction on. Okay, sorry. This slipstream. This deals with mainstream themes, but contain a speculative element. Speculative. Speculative element. The other one is space opera. If look at this definition, often involves a good guys shooting it up with bad guys in the depths of space or in a distant planet. Space operas, which Star Wars is a classic example, don't worry about scientific impossibilities. Technical explanations tend to be vague. So basically, in space operas, you have the good guys beating the bad guys, but there's no explanation of why things happen. It's just they happen. Finn. Finn. Oh my god, I said Finn. Finn. And the last one, among others. I'm saying there are a lot, and I encourage you to research and Google this information. Okay. Time travel. The characters travel to the past or future, or are visited by travelers from either end of the spectrum. Topic range Topics range from let's go see what Pleistocene look like. Okay, they just are curious of what happened to the issues of paradox. What if you travel to the past and killed your own father? Paradox, a time paradox. If you affect something in the past, what will be the outcome in the future, in the present? And tampering. Could stepping on a butterfly in the Paleolithic profoundly alter the entire future? And a variant of this subgenre is the alternate universes, in which each change in the time stream spins off a new universe. Yes, science fantasy is a rebel indeed, Luisa. So, those are 10 of the most common subgenres of science fiction. And now we're going to go, and lastly, oh, thank God, the internet survived. Okay, to the renowned authors of science fiction. Most of them are male. I need to point that out. But most of the classic authors of science fiction are male, except for Ursula K. Le Guin, which is the few female authors that I could find. And there's let's see. Female authors. Okay, I'm not that. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to talk about the renowned authors of science fiction. What I meant to say was female authors are very lacking, very few in the science fiction genre. What? Okay, so I'm gonna continue on because the internet is already sending evil message. Jules Verne, we already talked about him. His famous works are 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Around the World in 80 Days, published in the 19th century. We have A.G. Wells, which also published in the 19th century, The Time Machine and the War of the Worlds. One of my favorite authors, Ray Bradbury, one of the awesome, well, in my opinion, authors of the 20th century. He wrote one of the famous novels, Fahrenheit 451, in 1953, but we also have from him The Martian Chronicles, I Sing the Body Electric and other stories. He has a range of excellent stories. And we have the famous Big Three, which the Big Three are hardcore science fiction authors. Isaac Asimov, Robert A. Heinlein, except him, he's software. Arthur C. Clarke. These were considered the Big Three of science fiction in the 20th century. So, in other authors, and I recommend that you read this story, Daniel Keyes, Flowers for Algernon. Again, Flowers for Algernon. And I'm going to give you some titles of stories that I read in the Wesleyan Science Fiction Anthology of Science Fiction. These are Rappaccini's Daughter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. It's a story about, well, I'm not going to tell you, it's a short story. The other one is Jules Verne's From Journey to the Center of the Earth. H.G. Wells' The Star, I recommend that one. H.G. Wells' The Star is a apocalyptic short story. E.M. Forster's The Machine Stops, and that's the only ones I've read so far. Oh God, I need to finish this anthology this summer. Okay, and the other one, the other anthology, I recommend that you read All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury. Flowers for Algernon, Daniel Keyes, Harrison Bergeron, excellent, by Kurt Vonnegut. And yes, those are the ones that are okay. Yeah. So I think that's basically it. An introduction to science fiction. We talked about a definition of science fiction, the historical background, the characteristics, the genres, I mean subgenres, excuse me, subgenres, other subgenres, and the renowned authors of science fiction. I think even though that we have technical difficulties, I can say that I have covered everything that I wanted to cover in today's summer workshop. Hopefully for next week, I will have prepared any internet problems. And I just figured out that the introductory workshop is always short. And for next week, we are going to be talking about, I think it's characters, plot, and settings of science fiction. So be sure to read at least one of the stories that I told you, and I will be posting them on the group page. And remember, if you are going to write a science fiction story or poem, just ask yourself, what if? Or if this goes on, ellipsis. Okay? So I believe that's it. Thank you so much for your attention. And I sound like a teacher. And I really love science fiction. I do encourage that you write. And before I leave, we're gonna have a mighty good time. Well, and the other one. And oh. No, but really, now I leave you. Thank you. Yes, Lisa, please write something. Writers, Wait, no, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, before it shuts off again. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. You can find us by searching UPRH, the UPRH Creative Writing Workshop. And subscribe to our channel. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. we will be here. And science fiction all the way, man. Okay? So, take care. Stay weird.